Welcome back. One of the assignments that we do in narcotics is we examine heroin users. We look at their eyes, we take their urine sample, we look at their arms. They usually have puncture wounds, different places, and a lot of the rooms have abscesses, and not really hard to figure out what they're doing. And that was our job one particular evening. I was working with another senior partner, and we were over in a division booking some bodies that we had. And we're coming out, and a supervisor comes over. He goes, I need to talk to you guys. What do we do wrong? You guys work narcotics, right? Yes, sir. He says, I need to go into the captain's office. Go in the office. Here's a supervisor, a captain, and another supervisor. We're like, what's going on? And they said, well, they go, we think that our record clerk is under the influence of heroin. What? We're sitting there, what? Your record clerk? This is the gal that processes reports, does all the administrative work that comes into all these arrests and stuff and sends out paperwork and stuff. Has to be sworn in the department because of secrecy, and she has access to police files and all kinds of delicate information, all kinds of stuff. And we're going, well, what do you mean? Do you think well, one of the sergeants here worked a small tour in narcotics, and he's seen her over there, and she thinks she's on the nod. So we need to see if you guys can interview her and see what's going on. Go, oh. So we looked at them, well, Captain, if we interview her, it's going to be like a regular field interview, even though she's working for our department. He goes, doesn't matter. He says, I will be there. You will examine her like you normally would anybody else. Okay. So we come out and say, well, we're going to watch her first. Okay. When we bring her back here handcuffed, but we're going to watch her first. So we walk. There's a lot of activity here. There's people coming and going, and she's in this central area with another girl. So we're outside, faking that we're doing work, and we're watching her. That's what we do when we watch people. And she's sitting down like this. She's sitting there. You can't see my eyes, but her eyes are slowly closing. This is in an office with people running all over the place. Then she drops down. Then she wakes up. It's almost like someone who didn't get enough sleep. That's what it is. She gets up and she's walking, kind of like real slow, like someone who's drunk. And then she'll stand there, and her eyes will droop in a standing position. And then she'll jump up. And so it's like someone who's drunk, but not quite, and yet catches themselves and has a few moments of clarity. And does it again. And that separates that from just a drunk. A drunk is drunk all the time. Okay, this is like a functioning narcotic user. Okay, so we're looking at that, and we can't see her arms because she has a sweater on her, which is unusual because most heroin users always wear long sleeve shirts or sweaters, so the cops can't see their puncture wounds. So we put that in our mind. So we watch it for maybe 5 minutes, and then we look at each other. Now's the time. So we walk up. How's it going? Yeah, can I help you guys? Yeah, we work narcotics. We need to talk to you. Oh, about what? Well, and then she had a funny look on her face, like she was going to do something. I said, well, just in case, we're going to put the handcuffs on you. What? She got all freaked out. Can you imagine? This is in a police facility in their record bureau. So my partner said, not right now. So we kind of walked her out in the hallway so nobody could see her. And then we put the cuffs on her and took her right within a few feet to the captain's office. Go in there, we sit her down, take the handcuffs off. We're not sure what she's going to do. And she knew something was up. Her captain's sitting there, 2 sergeants sitting there, we're standing there. And then my partner says, roll up your sleeves. I don't have to. And the captain says, he looks at us and goes, roll the sleeves up. Told us. We're trying to look nice in front of the captain, but, and the field would have just, give me your sleeves. We didn't want, but we soon realized that this is an administrative investigation, not necessarily a criminal. 2 are separate. Administration can do pretty much what you want. Criminal, you have to worry about getting a conviction later on in court. Those guys didn't care about the court. They wanted to know about her. Okay? So we just rolled up her sleeves, and sure enough, she had right along the vein here, where your nurse takes out your blood when you go give blood, 2 or 3 abscess puncture wounds, 2 or 3 over here. She had a high turtleneck sweater. You pull that down, 2 or 3 on her neck, so she's a heroin user. Okay? So one of the supervisors goes out to the other girl, says, looking for her purse. They got her purse. They brought it in. They found a little bit of heroin in there. They found a suture. We examined her eyes, took her in a dark room. Her eyes, meaning her pupils in the dark, most pupils are big, like a camera. They're bringing in all the light. Okay, explain this quickly. When you're under the influence of heroin, your pupils go way down. So you go in a dark room and look at a flashlight off the side of her head, and those pupils will be pinned. I mean, she's on heroin. Because normally you put that pupil without any light in the dark, just to the side, like right here, and you look at somebody's eyes, and they're just wide open, like a wide open f-stop on a camera. Because it's trying to bring out the light. That's basically what it is. So we asked her to give a urine sample. She said she refused. We're asking her all the stuff we're supposed to be doing. Refusal means that you're pretty much almost guilty if you don't give a urine sample. Why would you want to give a urine sample if you're innocent? I would. If I'm innocent, take all you want. So, sat her in there. We went outside with the captain. Where we work for him. He says, book her. Book her? Book her. Okay. So we booked the evidence. He says, and he asks us, what do you have? Well, we have her under the influence. We have the heroin in the purse and all that. He says, would you book someone in the field that way? Absolutely. Then book her. There's no difference now. Okay, fine. Well, I didn't know at the time, though, as we're doing this, they had called internal affairs, okay? The guys that handle all the stuff that officers and civilians in our department do. And as we're taking her out to book her, here they come, okay? And they took her off, and our hands are out of it because they're higher up than we are, and they interviewed her in there because what they're concerned about is she has access to all police personal files, your home address, phone number, social security numbers, and all that stuff. It's all in this big office controlled by these ladies that work in there because they're supposed to have clearances. And so if she's a heroin addict, she could be selling these things to other sellers of dope to get dope. There's all kinds of possibilities here. So we booked her, or they took her, they booked her, and then we found out a month or two later that, because we got a subpoena again for a hearing, because they were going to fire her, and we were going to have to testify. And then she withdrew it, and she just fired. She quit, because she figured that she's done. I mean, we had all these reports, and they got all the reports. We got 2 narcotic experts examined her. She's done. Refused the urine. We took photos of the puncture wounds. We identify everything. Basically, we know what we're talking about because it's what we do for a living. She's gone. So that's kind of sad because she worked for the department like 12 years. She worked for the department as their senior record clerk, but you can't have people that are doing that sort of thing. You can't have officers under the influence. You can't have officers drunk. You can't have civilians that are in charge of that stuff. Everybody has to be at least at work drug free. At least start with that. Okay. So anyway, so that was our unfortunate situation. Felt kind of bad, but then again, I didn't because this is what we do, and she shouldn't be doing that. Not when you're employed by a police department. Anyway, that's our story. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.